Here we go again. Hello everyone, I am Janelle. I am an SLP Peep, and today we are going to be talking a little bit about the ASHA Big 9. Considering I already made a video about the ASHA Big 9 last year, this video is going to be more about, and how did ASHA even come about? If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. And if you don't, then why are you watching this video? So here we go. ASHA, or the American Speech Language Hearing Association, has something called the Big 9. This is pretty much the scope that speech-language pathologists work in. Whatever we treat, diagnose, work with will fall under one of these 9 categories: AAC, articulation, aural rehabilitation, cognition, dysphagia, fluency, language, pragmatics, and voice. Now, as I mentioned, I already did a video about this, so I want to take this a little differently. I want to mainly go into how did we even get a scope of practice to begin with? How did ASHA even become our governing board? It's kind of an interesting story. Now, believe it or not, in graduate school, in undergraduate school, students are not actually taught the history of a speech-language pathologist. We might get a little bit of a history lesson here or there, but not the origin story. So here it is. In the beginning, well, kind of in the beginning. In the beginning, there was no dedicated profession or organization or governing board for what is now speech-language pathologists. What there were people on their own calling themselves speech correctionists or speech correctors, anything that had to deal with that type of phrasing. Back in roughly the 1920s, yes, 1920s, as in we're almost 100 years later to this event, there was a group of about 25 people, namely educators, who came together and basically wanted to help people with speech. Now, this group eventually became ASHA, American Speech and Language Hearing Association, but at first it was actually named, well, it wasn't named, American Academy of Speech Correction. But at first it was actually named the American Academy of Speech Correction, AASC. Now, this was smack in mid-1920s, like 1925, 1926, and their main focus was actually articulation. For those that are wondering, well, what about language? Isn't that the other big thing that speech-language pathologists worked on? Well, yes, but it was all umbrellaed under articulation. In fact, language was not even its own separate category until about the 1960s. Yeah. Let's talk about that too. And doing the math, that's about 40 years where language and articulation were put together. What happened during those 40 years where language and articulation were seen as the same thing? Research, and apparently a lot of it, because research is better than no research or misinformation. Oh, and let's talk about accreditations, because that also happened within that 40-year period of time. The very first few certified professionals were actually awarded that certification. How many times can I say certified in a sentence? In 1952. And for those that are trying to do the math right now, 2022, 1952, 70 years ago. I did not plan for this to happen that way. Now, the rest of the ASHA Big 9, such as aural rehabilitation, pragmatics, fluency, they all came within their time period. I will link information down below with the sites that I've used, with information as well. And so you can continue on if you want to learn more about this. Now, question of the day. If we could dive deeper into one of the ASHA Big 9, which one would it be? Leave your answers down below. I hope you have a terrific day. If you like this information, please remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, bye-bye.